So if you're a young man around the age of 20 or whatever, if you're a teenager, if you're in your early 20s, it doesn't really matter. And, you're kind of feeling stuck or depressed or purposeless, if you got something going on, the way to fix it is, stay with me here, combat sports. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, just to say that a combat sport can get you out of whatever funk you're dealing with or give you a purpose. But, it really can help you. And, especially for young men. Basically what this whole video is going to be about is, why a young man should get into combat sports, what it does to him, how it's going to help him physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, for example, I'm 20. I'm into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I think is one of the best ones. Although I haven't tried all of them, I'm going to, but I really enjoy it. And we're going to go straight into my first point on this, which is if you're ever feeling stuck, drained, conflicted, weird, kind of foggy mentally, whatever it may be, combat sports can help you out of it. Whatever it is you're dealing with, if you're pushing your body and using it effectively, how it's supposed to be used, if you look at, our ancestors and how we've been treating the bodies for ages, fighting, traveling, hunting, whatever, it really can pull you out of whatever funk you're in. If you're kind of doing nothing with your body all day, every day, you're kind of in the same robotic routine, life can start to feel a little purposeless and a little dull, and it really can affect you positively in a mental way when you train the body. If you move the body and train it and, it feels good, if you feel the pressure of the environment and you're kind of, looking at the objective universe around you and, operating your body within that, you're going to feel good mentally. You're going to feel powerful and capable. So for me, to put this, make it a little personal, I've had relationship issues and stuff in my dating life or whatever, and I've gotten into weird spaces mentally and I've had problems and whatever. Getting into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu really helped me because, and that sounds really random and weird. I don't even fully believe it for myself, but it really did help me. It pulled me out of whatever issues I was in. I'm not going to go into details because that's not what the video is about. It's about, what I'm talking about here. It really helped me and it made me feel better in my own skin. And there's a bunch of things I'm going to list off here in the upcoming video of why combat sports can really help you. But, I've had problems and I've come out of them. And I've grown up in a family that has, been involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu our entire life. Like my family and my best friend's family. The reason I mentioned my best friends is because we've been literal best friends since we were in diapers. So our two families have been very involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And although I've never really done it, I've kind of done it my entire life. From the ages of like 4 to 12, I was doing it all the time. And then throughout my teen years, it was kind of on and off, a very occasional thing. And now I'm 20. I've kind of taken charge of my own life, and I've gone into it as my own thing, not someone telling me where to go or what to be, and I've done it. I feel great, and my father and my brother are really into it, and as a side note here, it's very nice to have something to bond over, with them, and I really appreciate the quality time it's given me. But I'm kind of getting a little off track here, but this whole first point is just, it can really help you. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're working the body in the physical universe around you, and experiencing the effort and the pressure, of going through something, raising your heart rate, being active and being outside and present. Outside, not as in physically outside, maybe sometimes, but outside of your normal routine or normal space. It doesn't affect you mentally, where it trains you to be more determined and purposeful and capable. Because if you feel confident in your own body, that's going to spill over into other areas of your life. If I'm kicking ass in jiu-jitsu and I'm feeling good physically and I have discipline to go every time to the gym and go train, that's going to pour over into other areas like work and relationships, because it's just the nature of this kind of thing. You know, you improve one area of your life and it benefits you, and if it has like meaning, you know, it's going to help you in those other areas. That's just how it works. And that kind of segues me into my second point here, which is doing combat sports or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whatever, changes your mental. It improves your confidence, you know, and it kind of gives you some camaraderie, some friends, depending on what you do and how much you get into it. But it's going to give you a group aspect, and that's one of the aspects of life, groups. So if you get into that, make some friends or improve your already existing relationships, you kind of get this whole group aspect, and that gives you more purpose in life, which is very important. And, you know, if you never were into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or a combat sport before, you'll kind of feel like a new man. And the more you do it, the more it changes you, you'll reinvent yourself for the better. So personally for me, my friendships improved and I made new friends by doing Jiu-Jitsu. Like I've met some new people because of my, you know, past friendships and whatever. And, you know, my mental changed by doing Jiu-Jitsu. And for the better, obviously. I wouldn't be talking about something that changed me for the worse. But knowing that I'm physically capable within my own body, it gives me a good amount of freaking confidence, you know? Like if I could look at another guy who's around my size and just know that, you know, if I take you to the ground, it's over. If I know that, that's pretty awesome. And that feels good for my confidence and, you know, my being. Like if I could put it into like an example, like I feel good and confident in my own body and my capability within my own body. So it's like me as the F1 driver in an F1 car. I feel like totally trained and ready to go in that car and move it around. So like me controlling my body and feeling totally confident in, you know, my space and what I can do with it makes me feel like a confident, proficient F1 driver within my own body, if you kind of track what I'm saying. So that's pretty much it for that second point. For my third point here, which is my last, I think, your body will change 100%. No doubt right here. Because, you know, the more, obviously, it's just basic laws of how you work the body. If you're doing jiu-jitsu 3 or 4 times a week, you're burning a lot of calories. Let's just say you have some excess fat to lose, whatever, it's going to help with that. And if you pair this with gym training, boy, you're going to be unstoppable. So aside from gym, if you go and do jiu-jitsu, your strength is going to improve, your cardio is going to improve, and your looks will probably improve because you'll lose some excess body fat. That's great. You know, your body's going to thank you if you're using it properly. Okay. But like I kind of touched on, if you pair it with gym, you know, going to the gym and getting stronger on some really important movements like your bench press, your shoulder press, your Romanian deadlift, things like that. If you pair these two things, get stronger, you know, lose a little bit of the fat that you have, be really proficient and capable with your body in space and time, you know, with how you move it and know what to do. Bro, you're going to feel like a machine. You're going to feel great. Lately, I've been feeling like a freaking machine. I've been feeling like the Terminator. Wow, let me try again. I've been feeling like the Terminator. So it's been really good for me, not only for the mental aspect, but for the physical. The physical, like, it's changed my body a little so far. I haven't been consistent for years and years, but, you know, for a little bit of time now. So it's changed my body in addition to how I'm treating my body outside of jiu-jitsu, because like I said earlier, it pours into other areas of your life. So if you're disciplined and, you know, doing jiu-jitsu all the time and you're kicking ass in that, you might kind of feel like, well, I want to put some better fuel in my body. You know, I'm not going to go for the McDonald's burger. I'm going to go for, you know, the ground beef at home. You know, obviously it's not a given or a guarantee that things will change in other aspects, but what doing the combat sport does to you mentally will change who you are and change those other areas of your life in turn. So it's not like an automatic thing where it all just happens, but it will help if you do the right things. So yeah, that's that. It's helped my physical and it's helped my mental. I feel great. And kind of leading into this little bonus point here, I noted down because I was thinking about it. I'm in a situation where I don't have to work for money right now, and I'm kind of just with the people I love, like friends and family, like all the time. And I feel a little purposeless sometimes, you know. Obviously, I have a career and I have things I'm working on, but, you know, if I'm not doing anything, it kind of feels like, well, what am I doing, you know? So sports is a great substitute for work. And in my case, if I don't need to do the work, I just pop my finger, of course. If I don't need to do the work, sports is great. And BJJ is like my favorite sport, aside from like football, but I can't do football because I'm not in the NFL and I'm not going to make it. I unfortunately, I didn't start when I was a young kid. So jiu-jitsu is great, and it gives me a sense of purpose and this group aspect with my father and my brother. And I feel great, you know, and it's really changed my life. And I'm going to continue doing it for a long, long time until I get my black belt. And whatever else it is. I've been talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because that's like my thing. But if someone's thing is Muay Thai or boxing, great, dude. Do that. It's personal expression. It's your life. You can do what you want. So that's the extra little bonus point. Just to wrap things up here, my ending thought, I kind of wrote it down. But if you're ever in something and feel trapped or depressed or whatever it may be, get into combat sports. Or any sport for that matter. You know, go outside, talk to people, do things. What's the point of life if you don't? Okay? So that was it. And I guess I kind of started to get a little assertive at the end there. But it's true. So not to look at my script that I have here for my video, if I'm just talking frank, doing something with your life is better than doing nothing. Because if you're not doing anything, what's the point? You know, you're here and you had to dodge a lot of things to get here. So, you know, make the most of it and appreciate what's around you, do things with people you love, etc., etc. Okay? So, peace, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, you know.